mean, they never really fixed anything. I mean, in the 4 years that I've been there, but I've been too scared, whatever, right? You know, it's just I've only grown a pair of balls, I guess, during this thing. But I never expected those emails to work. And I was talking to some friends, and they're going, "It's Alex. It's the power of peer pressure. When you expose, if you have never CC 27 people, that nothing would have ever got done, right? They were just scared that one of those 27 people was a lawyer, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it's like that's the only reason you got it done." And he goes, "Aren't you surprised you got it done?" He goes, "Completely surprised. My kitchen looks beautiful now." I was like, "I love my kitchen tile. I love my kitchen sink, and I love my brand new metal door outside. The only thing I hate in my apartment is the carpeting." But that's...
Yeah, what about the carpeting? Is it just hasn't been replaced?
It hasn't been replaced, and I don't know legally what I can do about it. I can't say, I guess I can't say it's, I don't know. Can I say it's a health hazard? No. Can I say it's got mold? I don't think it's got mold. I don't think it's a health hazard. It's just dirty, I guess. So it hasn't been replaced since they bought it, you know. I think that, I mean, I can look online. The address is, you know, Alcott Street, you know, 8800 block Alcott. What's on that block? It's not the exact address. Anyway, so I was like, okay, I can actually look at how much when they bought this building, but in that time it hasn't been fixed, and so they bought my carpet. I mean, it's a beige carpet. I haven't cleaned it yet, and then it's like, oh, it's just kind of disgusting, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it has been around for a while, it can, you know, over time.
I don't know.
Just
legally, I can't. I don't think legally I can get them to replace the carpeting. I mean, they offered to do it. The landlady, you know, right? You know, the pretty person, right? But when I first approached her, she was very like, "Okay, Alex, we'll take pictures and whatever," and she's like telling me exactly what I want to hear, like a con man or a con woman would do, right? Goes, and then my neighbors were like, "Wow, she's really on it," and goes, "No, she's not. She's just a pretty Persian in her late 30s telling me exactly what I want to hear, that I'll fix this, I'll fix that, I'll fix that." He goes, "Oh, the tile, the tiling, I don't know if we can fix that tiling, though, in the kitchen." And I was like, "It's horrible." He goes, "I don't know if we can do that. Probably we can do the sink." And he goes, "Probably you can do the handles, the sink handles in the kitchen." And he goes, and let's see, what else? Carpeting? Nah, I don't think so. Maybe we can do the carpeting." And, you know, he goes, "Yeah, we'll fix the metal door." And then nothing got done. I was like, I'm going, "Lady, you took over this business." And landlady, she's like, you know, her name's Arax, you know, Araks. He goes, I felt like saying, "You took over on April 7th. And nothing has been done a month later." So I knew she was full of it. And my neighbors fell for it, you know. I was like, I felt like going, "Natalie, Kathy, she's blowing smoke. She's just telling me she's a con woman." Right? So that, you know, the funny part is she sure changed her tone, that same landlady, when I did these emails. Oh, she started treating me like gold now, right? Maybe you know, not as a, you know, a pain in the ass tenant, but she started treating me like gold. She wasn't like, you know, she was treating me a lot differently when I used the power of email, right? And I use the power of email, I use the power of text, and I use the tenant portal as a weapon. By using it as a weapon, I meant when I put stuff on the tenant portal, everything you put on the tenant portal gets emailed back to you, right? So I have a record. So I started putting everything. I goes, "Oh my gosh, this is fabulous. I can put up to 1,000 words. You know, it gets emailed to them and it gets emailed back to me." I goes, "Great. I have a record of this garbage they're putting me through." I was like, "This is excellent." I had no idea, you know. So I mean, I use the tenant portal. I use the tenant portal against them. I use the emails against them. I use the text against them.
Okay.
And those were the weapons.
Okay. When you how long has the tenant portal been around?
It's been around a while, but I've never really used it.
Huh.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it's been, and I never really realized how effective it could be. I never really used it. My neighbors have used it, and a lot of stuff has not gotten done because they use a tenant portal. And what happens with a tenant portal is, PORTAL, is that it's on the website. So it's internal, so it's not a public thing. So I can't see 27 people on it. You know what I mean? Right? So people, that's why neighbors use a tenant portal, and they get some things done, but they don't get everything done. Right? So I realized that right away. I was like, huh. So when I put on the tenant portal the complaint, I put a note at the end of the email, of the message, to what needs to be repaired. I goes, heads up, this complaint has also been emailed to the landlady. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I put that at the very bottom, right? I mean, I was being aggressive, right? But I was just like, you know what? If I'm going to go down, which looks like I'm going to go down, this was in June, right?
Mm-hmm.
Early June. I goes, I'm going down. I goes, I'm gonna be try to protect myself. You see, maybe this might work legally. I can use this mold stuff in the shape of the kitchen, and I guess they were afraid because, and I also emailed, when I put on the email, I put, I goes, why don't you treat me like your father, your son, or your brother? That's what I put. It would be nice to be treated like your father, son, or brother, a man, instead of, just a tenant, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was like, some other people were talking to me like, wow, that's crazy what you just put. I goes, desperate times call for desperate measures. And I was desperate in early June. Super desperate, right? Horribly desperate, right?
Well, I'm glad that it worked out. I mean, I would assume then, just a clarification question, and I'll tell you what I think, is that, so the tenant portal, it would be managed by the management company?
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. And then you also had direct contacts with the landlord, so you emailed.
Yeah, I can email them or phone them or use the tenant portal. Those three methods of communication. Right.
So they gave you the options, but that's great. I mean, I'm glad it really worked out. I mean, I would assume that I think in a time of the pandemic where there are tenants that are, not able to pay rent, and then there's the eviction moratorium, right?
Yeah.
And I think we are in a time where landlord tenants, and observing is that there's a time where it's people are getting more informed, trying to find information, trying to find resources, what to do. There's the desperate moments like you were actually mentioning, right? And I think from a landlord side, and I have noticed and seen this quite often in my work. I worked as a paralegal for 5 years before I went to grad school. I work with lawyers, assisting them in the eviction cases because they represented tenants. And so, what I've noticed quite often is that when things are done written, when pictures are taken and, things are done by writing, then that is evidence. And then landlords tend to react more to those documents than just by word of mouth. Or
the landlord responds more to the written evidence than word of mouth.
Yes, if you talked on the phone, if you told them in person, they'll just hear it, but they're not there's nothing in writing. But there's evidence, right? There's pictures, etc. Landlords react because then they know that that if they send you to court, right, to evict you, for instance, then the landlord lawyer, your lawyer can make the case of that your rent should be worth a lot less because of the conditions in your apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be an argument. And so, it would be a crazy thing, but so it's a good thing. I mean, documentation is a great weapon that we all have. In any case that can go legal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I never realized that